In the last 13 years, only 2 American women have repeated as national all-around champion. One is Simone Biles. The other is a 17-year-old who was in 4th place after a fall, with 1 day left to save her title. This is how Hezly Rivera pulled off the comeback that put her name next to the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I consider myself as a veteran, even though I don't think it, like when I'm competing and stuff, I'm kind of just focused on my gymnastics and stuff, but it's crazy to say that I am.
Oradell, New Jersey, a small borough about half an hour from Manhattan. No elite gymnastics dynasty, no Olympic pipeline running through town. Hezly Rivera was born there in June of 2007, the daughter of parents who came to the United States from the Dominican Republic and built a life from scratch. There was no gymnastics tradition in the family, no coach for a parent, no older sibling blazing a trail through the sport. What there was a little girl with too much energy, flipping off furniture, and parents willing to channel it into a local gym instead of telling her to sit still. That's the whole origin story. No talent scout, no grand plan, just immigrant parents saying yes to one more practice, one more meet, one more season, without any guarantee that it would ever lead anywhere.
What I love most about gymnastics is just flying through the air and feeling like I can fly. And it's just an amazing feeling, and especially to do it with your teammates and your friends.
But it led somewhere fast, because by the time Rivera reached the junior elite ranks, coaches on the national scene already knew her name. The results were loud. This kid from New Jersey wasn't just keeping up with the best juniors in America, she was beating them. And that created a brutal decision that tells you everything about this family. The best fit for her next chapter wasn't in New Jersey. It was more than 1,500 miles away, in Texas, at the World Olympic Gymnastics Academy, the gym of Olympic all-around champions, the gym where national titles are the expectation, not the dream. So the family split their life in two. Hezly and her mother relocated to Texas so she could train. Her father stayed behind in New Jersey, working to keep it all running from a distance. 2 households, 1 phone call at a time, all of it resting on the shoulders of a teenager who now had to prove the sacrifice was worth it. Think about that pressure. You're 15 years old. Your family has literally divided itself across the country for your dream. And the sport you've chosen is one where a single bad landing can end everything in half a second. Then came 2024, Olympic trials. The deepest women's gymnastics team on the planet, with legends returning and only 5 spots available. Nobody's roster projection had the kid from Oradell on it. But when the team was announced for Paris, there she was, 16 years old, the youngest athlete on the entire United States Olympic team. Not just the gymnastics team, the whole delegation, every sport. The baby of Team USA, standing next to Simone Biles. In Paris, she did her job in qualifications, and when the United States won team gold, Hezly Rivera became an Olympic champion before she was old enough to vote. And that's where the whispers started, because to some people, she was the 5th member, the kid along for the ride, the one who got a gold medal, while the veterans did the heavy lifting in the final. It's an ugly, unfair way to talk about a 16-year-old Olympian, but it's how sports talk works. A gold medal with an asterisk, penciled in by strangers. So here's the question that hung over her going into 2025. Was Hezly Rivera actually the future of American gymnastics, or just a lucky teenager in the right place at the right time? Quick question before we get to the answer. Did you actually watch Rivera compete in Paris, or is this the first time you're hearing her full story? Drop it in the comments. I genuinely want to know how many people were paying attention before this year. In 2025, with the post-Olympic generation change in full swing, Rivera walked into the U.S. Championships and won the senior all-around title, her first, at 17. The 5th member was now, officially, the best all-around gymnast in the United States. But one title can be a moment. Champions get hot for a week all the time. The sport has a long list of one-year wonders, junior phenoms who touched the top exactly once and were never seen there again. Repeating is different. Repeating means every rival has had a full year to study you, and you beat them anyway. And in American women's gymnastics, repeating as all-around champion is so rare, it's almost mythical. Before this weekend, you had to go back 13 years to find the last woman who did it for the first time. Her name was Simone Biles, and she turned that repeat into the greatest career the sport has ever seen. That's the club Rivera was trying to join in Phoenix. Population 1. Which brings us back to that fall on the uneven bars. Day 1. A slip. 4th place. More than a point behind, with her own WOGA teammate Claire Pease tied at the top of the leaderboard. The gymnast trying to take her crown shares her gym, her coaches, her daily routine. There are no secrets between them. Day 2, Rivera answered like a champion answers. On vault, she launched a 14.4, the highest single vault score of the entire night. On balance beam, the most unforgiving 4 inches in sports, she was untouchable. Her 2-day beam total of 28.7 won the national beam title outright. On floor, she added a 28.3 across 2 days, good for silver on the event. Rotation by rotation, the point-wide canyon closed. And when the final scores locked in, Rivera, 111.950. Charlie Bullock third at 110.50.50. From 4th place, off a fall, at 17 years old, back-to-back national all-around champion. Say the fact out loud, because it's worth hearing clearly. In the last 13 years, exactly 2 American women have repeated as senior all-around champion of the United States, Simone Biles and Hezly Rivera. Now let's be honest about what that does and doesn't mean, because this channel doesn't do fake hype. It doesn't mean Rivera is the next Biles. Nobody is. Biles repeated and then kept winning for a decade, stacking Olympic and world titles into a resume no one may ever touch. But here's what it does mean. Every dynasty starts with the same first step, winning, and then proving it wasn't an accident. Biles took that step in her teens. Rivera just took the exact same step, at the exact same stage, on the exact same stage. The last time an American teenager did this, the sport got rewritten, and the story is moving fast. As champion, Rivera has an automatic invitation to this fall's World Selection event, the gateway to the World Championships in Rotterdam this October, where she can test her all around against the best on the planet. Names like Rebecca Andrade, who we've covered on this channel, and a wave of hungry new seniors from every continent. And behind Rotterdam sits the real horizon, Los Angeles, 2028, a home Olympics. Rivera will be 21, the age most all-arounders hit their absolute peak. The youngest member of Team USA in Paris could walk into Los Angeles as the face of the entire team. A daughter of Dominican immigrants from a small town in New Jersey, a family that split itself across the country on faith, a gold medal people tried to put an asterisk on, and now, a piece of history shared with only one other name, the greatest of all time. So here's my question for you. Does Hezly Rivera leave Los Angeles in 2028 as an all-around Olympic medalist? Or is the field, including her own teammate, about to catch up? Drop your prediction in the comments. I read every single one. And if this story hit you the way it hit me, hit subscribe, because Rotterdam is in October, LA is coming, and the next chapter of this story is already being written.